Today we are going to be doing some massive upgrades to this bike. Recently inspired by some retro mountain bikes from the 90s, some drop bar mountain bikes, specifically John Tomac's world champion drop bar bike. And for a very long time, I will be honest, I was not a big fan of the look of the stem on that bike. I didn't like the really excited looking stem where it was essentially going up at a 30-degree angle from the horizon, and then it had these really extreme drops on it. That aesthetic never appealed to me until recently. And I don't know what changed in my perspective on it, but now that I stare at it and I'm starting to like the look of it. Yeah, I think that looks actually pretty good, I have to say.
It does.
I was a little nervous about how that uprising stem might look, but I think it looks good when you can drop it down and not have a big stack of spacers.
Yeah, taller. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted it taller.
Yeah.
And I wanted a shorter reach on it as well.
Yeah.
For this bike. I want this to be a really comfortable bike. But maybe I should, I don't know, should I switch the shifters? I can't wait to try those Ultegra 10-speed with the Sword cassette at 11 to 38 10-speed. So we hit a bit of a snag with these shifters. These are a triple index shifter by Shimano, and down here we have a triple derailleur. However, this is a 8-speed derailleur, and these are 10-speed shifters, and the lever arm on this is a lot longer. So what's happening is it's not pulling enough cable, or the cable and the shifter isn't able to pull the derailleur all the way over. So I've tried a couple workarounds. I've moved the cable to the inside to try to get more leverage. That didn't quite work. And I've even tried a series of different derailleurs. So I tried a road derailleur, 10-speed, did not work. Then I tried this SRAM 9-speed triple, that didn't work. And then I also tried, just for fun, this Suntour derailleur, and that worked a little bit better, but not perfect. So we're gonna make a couple changes here.
All right, checking the position.
Straight mark. Got black behind. So let's go over where we ended up today on this upgrade. So what I did is I ended up putting a 10-speed cassette on here. This is a Microshift 10-speed. It's an 11 to 38 tooth 10-speed. And then up on the front, I had the Shimano XT triple. This is a square taper style crankset, and this is for 8-speed, I believe. It could be 9-speed era, but it has the spacing of 8 and 9-speed, and perhaps 10-speed, but that I'm not actually sure on. So what I wanted to do was make this bike 10-speed triple with drop bar shifters, drop bars and drop bar shifters. And so I ended up ordering these triple. This is a triple specific shifter, and it's for the road. And so the cable pull for this happens to be slightly different than the 9-speed or 8-speed derailleur that I had on here. That was a mountain bike derailleur, and it was meant for a 9-speed wide chain, like a 3/32 wide chain. And the cage itself is pretty wide. So what was happening is it would shift to the middle ring, but it wouldn't shift all the way up to the big ring. It just ran out of cable pull. So I looked at that and I thought that maybe it had something to do with the design of the derailleur. So I ordered a used Ultegra 10-speed triple front derailleur for the road. And so far it's actually working pretty well. It's shifting. I did have to manipulate the cage just a little bit with some tool, bend it just slightly just to make sure I was getting a nice clean shift out of it. So that's what ended up happening. So I ended up having to get this new front derailleur. I measured the chain line this morning, and it's about 47, 48 roughly millimeters. So it's a little outside of the road chain line for a triple. A road triple is 45, I believe, measured to the center of the middle ring. The other thing I did was I looked at the spacers between the small ring and the middle ring, and they're quite thick. And the way the person who I bought this crankset from had set it up originally is they had the chain ring flipped the opposite way, and so the spacers were really separating the chain rings. So I flipped it around and I got a nice tight chain ring spacing that way. And so far it's shifting well with the 10-speed chain on it. So anyway, this is the drivetrain upgrades. But the whole video we were really talking about was what we wanted this kind of high-rise drop bar setup. And we're out here riding it right now, and it's really good. I find that it's a really comfortable setup, and I can now see why people who want the drop bars with the wider drop bars, they want to bring those bars up a little bit and get them wider, because it starts to feel kind of like you're on a flat bar bike. The only thing I would maybe say could make this really, really nice is if these bars had somewhat of a back sweep to them. I think that would be really nice. But these are what I have, and I'm going to use them for a while and just check it out and enjoy it. So that's where we're at on the massive upgrades here. Yeah, it feels nice. I think the saddle height's pretty good. I could probably go up a little bit more. Let's see.
That right there looks similar to how you usually have it.
Okay, let's ride it like that. Okay, so we keep rolling. So, how's the bike feeling? Well, so far I'm liking this setup. I like that you can sit pretty high up when you're on the flat tops. It feels almost like a flat bar bike. Not exactly, 'cause the bar width's still narrow comparatively, but it does feel good. The position feels good. Don't want to get too far ahead of Miss Cools here, so we're gonna try and we're just gonna chill. We're just riding the trail here, just to feel it out. The new bar setup, not new bars, but new brake lever shifters, 10-speed. Try not to squeal the brakes, because I know it's kind of annoying. Miss Coles is riding. She's got the Campagnolo 9-speed chorus shifters set up with a 9-speed Shimano drivetrain using the J-Tech pulley. Now our friend Omar from Allrounder just put up a really good video talking about nice. Is that the first time you rode that? Good job. Our friend Omar from Allrounder just put up a video where he discusses setting up campy shifters. Well, I'll wait till I get down here. This squealing's killing the audio. Yeah, so our friend Omar just put up a video, and I'll put a link to it, talking about different campy Shimano drivetrain configurations using Campagnolo shifters, all the different types over the years. And it's pretty cool how easy caught my chainring on that. I don't like doing that. All right. Well, I think that was a good test of the new setup here. The upgrades.
Yeah, how do you like the shifting?
The shifting's good. Yeah, with that one little extra turn on the rear is shifting good now. The front's shifting perfect, actually. So I think we've got that working out. And it's pretty cool that you can take 9 and 10, 8-speed components and mix and match and make it work. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I was mentioning that our friend Omar just put up a video where he talked about how you can use campy shifters with Shimano drivetrains in different configurations. So I'll put a link to that. But in general, I like it. I like that the 10-speed road shifters work. What I like about these particularly is they do have a longer ramp. And these kind of gravel bars tend to have a shorter ramp. So together it gives you actually a pretty good area and room to move around up here. So that's comfortable. I like the upright position. I'm liking this stem being up high like that. And then these have a fairly deep drop. So you still have the ability, if you want to get your center of gravity down. So I like the variation in position. I think that's really working out good. So yeah, so anyway.
Your thoughts?
But look at where we're at here. You know, we got the Pacific coast, Pacific Ocean right there. Yeah, it's just beautiful weather for February. Mid-February, guys. Look at this. Unbelievable. And I'm wearing a sweater, but it's not actually cold. I'm actually pretty warm right here. It's just cold in the trees.
The sun is feeling pretty warm right here.
Well, let's conclude this. Let's roll down, hit the coffee shop, and we'll call this cycling upgrades a success. Okay. Howdy.